line food preservation website, and much, much more, including a surprise bonus we just can't tell you about here. With plenty of room left over to store your most important documents. Imagine if a megavirus or computer failure took out your bank, or all the banks for that matter. Are your banking records safe in your hands? So when they get things fixed and repaired, you can say, hey, look, this is what I had. You have it. I want it back. Is your personal data safe? Family records, addresses, phone numbers? Well, squeeze on over to freedomslips.com. Yes, that's www.freedomslips.com. Click the banner on the homepage for the EMP-proof bullet drives to get the full scoop of everything that we offer. So, folks, keep your data safe for your peace of mind. Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here. Revolution Radio. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
All right. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be a great year. I think things are really happening now. We're seeing everything move along at rocket speed. They've been planning it for thousands of years, but finally our technology has reached an apex that they can take it to the next level. Matter of fact, I've had Jim Stone, who has done some great articles. He has he's talked about this zombie craze. Now, their World War Z is opened last week. I haven't seen it. I don't spend money to go to theaters. But I have remarked on the whole idea that this zombie, we're promoting zombies. Zombies everywhere. Crawling on the walls of the set up in World War K. I mean, flowing over highways, running over trucks like a bunch of cockroaches let loose, and this is a psychological operation. This is to get your kids and you and your young people in tune and copacetic with the thought of, well, the government's got to send the troops in. When the zombies are taking over, look, this guy ate somebody's face over there. That could happen to you tomorrow. Be afraid. Be very, very afraid. Now, unlike me, Jim Stone went to see World War Z. It was a carbon copy of the Will Smith zombie movie, I Am Legend. And since Jim Stone says, I am well aware of predictive programming, I beg to question why. I would like to question why there have been so many zombie movies lately, similar or not. In both World War Z and I Am Legend, and I got I Am Legend, I've seen that, the zombies are created by a virus. Minor tweaks in plot have World War Z with the zombies active during the daytime as well as nighttime, and disease spread by bite and full becoming fully active in 12 seconds. But let's look at the similarities here. Both have their roots in the virus. Both have society going down in isolated pockets. Both fully justify killing of zombies who are actually just people with a disease. Both have full frontal lockdown as to the solution to the problem. And both have no cures for the zombies. In fact, other zombie movies, according to my Mexican friends, have the same basic theme. In the last one, World War Z, was the tipping point which caused the question, what do the elite have planned for us? Why are these virus-based zombie movies? And we should probably ask, why has our military trained for a zombie apocalypse? Very creepy stuff. Now, Jim Stone says, I would like to explain something here, and that is that the virus zombie meme is an old one in biotech. Rabies is exactly that. Rabies is a viral infection that causes zombification of its victim in such a way that the zombie wants to bite everything that moves, only to infect whatever gets bitten with rabies, and the process repeats itself. World War Z actually cites rabies as the root for its own zombie apocalypse, so we already have in nature the zombie disease that these movies speak of. The problem with getting rabies to spread is twofold. One, it takes a while for rabies to manifest itself, so there's plenty of warning of someone going wacky before they get so wacky they start biting, and the other is that rabies is only spread via bite. Leave it to the biotech industry to break those two barriers to the spread of rabies. I think they already have. I think these zombie movies may be preparing us for the mindset the elite want us to have before they actually try to trigger a zombie apocalypse. And if they do trigger this apocalypse, you can count on the military shooting anyone who does not stay in quarantine in their own homes, just like in the movies, or whatever camps are set up for this scenario. No doubt the elite could care less if they crush the economy with their little stunt. They have their holes in the ground for unlimited food, with unlimited food. So they want to get rid of billions of us anyway. Don't think it's past them to pull the zombie stunt, which could kill millions from starvation due to a collapsed economic system, and millions more who will be shot because they violate quarantine. And folks, I predicted this. Now, Jim Stone adds the virus would not even need to be real, but to add spice, I think it would be. Now, I gave you that almost 10 years ago, and they tried to kill me for it. In true face of FEMA, I filmed the first Homeland Security meeting held at Albuquerque at Sandia Labs at Kirtland Air Force Base. Double security. My men got in. They cooperated with me and sent me copies of the whole shooting match. But Colonel Brinkerhoff, lecturing law enforcement, says in case of a single case of smallpox, a disease that's been extinct in America for 100 years. In case of one outbreak of smallpox in a major metropolitan area, we'll need 400,000 well-armed, well-trained, organized, disciplined troops to control the American people, because some of them just won't follow orders. No, some of us won't line up on a Kmart parking lot to get a vaccine for a disease that's been extinct for 100 years, except for this little bit that we're putting in your arm right here. But it's only going to give you a mild case. It ain't going to hurt you, but it'll keep you in the future. You know, I mean, 100 years, these things come around every 100 years. It's a 100-year virus, you know, and we're a little overdue for our no, I think the last one was 1913. Yeah, that was the Spanish flu, wasn't it? Swine flu, was that it? Now, is this what the movies are setting us up for? They predicted 9/11. Many movies. They predicted it. They predicted about the planes flying into the buildings. They predicted it. I would strongly suggest people pay attention to the new outbreaks in the press. At the first sign of any government's taking action such as quarantine, bug out with whatever you have to wherever you've decided to bug out to, and certainly you will be better off in your bug out location than in the city where it's easy picking. Now, what I have, this is Jim Stone telling me this is his conclusions. And since he's one of the people that I read on a regular basis, and he's told you the truth about the synagogue, this is the man that tried to sign up for the synagogue and getting in. I think we're right. I think he needs a bug out. We need a bug out, but we need to be creating these bug out communities right now. Right now. We should have been doing this, and some people have. We have had an effect. I advertised Pliers in New Mexico. Would you like to buy this town? You sent me $250,000 to buy it. You got your money back because we didn't get to buy it. What we just talked about today, these chemtrails that are going on. I made a movie on that. That's available on shop.freeamerican.com. The plan, the bug out plan is pretty simple. Create a farm or ranch. Stock it with ranch hands that are veterans that don't mind a little bit of hard work and have been trained to help you defend your homestead if this zombie apocalypse comes about. I don't know that it is. Maybe it's just a movie. Let's hope. But they made a movie about the World Trade Center coming down too. Planes flying into that. They didn't picture it as real as it was. But we spent the last 10 years arguing over, well, was the explosive planted there beforehand? Well, of course. Was it the Jews did it? Was it the Arabs did it? Was it the Muslims that did it? Who did it? Gee, who did it? Gee, who did it? Well, let's see. Larry Silverstein made $2 billion off of it. I'd say he'd be a prime candidate since he locked it down, since he did that. How about Dov Zakheim? We built the planes that flew into it. We've got all the evidence on these people. We've got all the history on these people. Rabbi Dov Zakheim, he just disappeared with $2.6 trillion. And I don't know if the quote attributed to him is accurate. Yeah, we stole it and used it to finance the Iraq war. The Afghan war. Why? Because those nasty old Taliban were destroying the opium poppy crops. Are they insane? So we invade, we take it over, and now we protect the fields. Our soldiers, your children. And if they happen to get strung out on that heroin and come home, then they'll populate our prisons too. See, there's another part of the Hegelian dialectic that's put in. The CIA, the Mossad, are responsible for bringing most of the cocaine into this country. Most of the heroin into this country. Now that we control 90% of the heroin in the world through Afghanistan, which we still occupy. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. It's all about the drugs. We can stop that. We can abolish all the laws against victimless crimes. We can take away their support base. They are getting paid now, and they got all these troops on the street in their nice little black uniforms to haul you in if you won't follow orders. True face of FEMA. You can see him say it. If you won't follow, some of you Americans just won't follow orders. I'm telling you, this vaccine's good for you. This vaccine's good for you. Just take it. You won't feel a thing for 7 years, but after that, you're kind of be downhill after that. But that's just old age. Just what old age is. Bullshit. I don't take any medicines. I don't take any medication. I don't take aspirin because I don't get headaches. I don't get sick. I don't go to doctors. All kinds of diseases in those doctors' offices, in those hospitals. Man, what do you want to go into there for? Now, if we don't all start thinking like that to a certain extent, and instead of allowing the Jew in the wood pile to come out to try to start a fight, you just don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're saying. You. This is what they do. This is how they operate. And these are the minions for the Romans, for the Catholics, for whatever. They came in and they love these people because they'll screw over their mother in a heartbeat to make an extra dollar. They don't like dealing with Christians because the Christians might question where all this money's going. And even the Christian churches, if you're talking about a Christian church and everybody in the church led by the preacher who's working for Homeland Security, they refer to themselves as Judeo-Christians. They might as well call themselves, you might as well call yourself, I'm a satanic Christian. Warfare by deception. Edward Bernays refined their art tremendously. Son of Fruit, they've always used the psychiatric doctors to mess with your mind. That's what they do. Now, Jim Stone says, I strongly suggest that people pay attention to any new outbreaks in the press. And if they do the quarantines, yeah, worry about it. Yeah, worry about it. And let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan was doing the other thing that J.P. Morgan was doing in its chief investment office, profiting off the death of employees. And now we're talking about people working for the big banks. I used to say, what do you want to do? You want to go out and kill the operator over there because she works for AT&T? No, that's not what we want to do. But what they're planning for with the zombie apocalypse will affect everybody, especially in the cities. But evidently they know that because J.P. Morgan's chief investment office, the CIO, the division that has thus far admitted to losing $6.2 billion in the London whale debacle, according to Exhibit 81 released by the U.S. Senate's Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, Ina Drew, the head of the chief investment office, was also overseeing the investment of funds in the firm's bank-owned life insurance, BOLI, and corporate-owned life insurance, BOLI and COLI plans, a scheme enshrined by the U.S. Congress in 2006 that allows the too-big-to-fail banks as well as many other corporations to reap huge tax benefits by taking out life insurance policies on the workers, even low-wage workers, and renaming the corporation the beneficiary of the death benefit. Well, talk about health problems. Go to your doctor and get checked up here. Make sure you're well enough for sex. Yeah, let's check that out. Right. According to the exhibit, Drew was tasked with the maximization of tax-advantaged investments of life insurance premiums for the BOLI-COLI plans. According to the report on Wall Street in 2009, J.P. Morgan had $12 billion in BOLI, noting that a J.P. Morgan spokesperson had confirmed the figure. Other insurance industry experts put the total for BOLI and COLI at J.P. Morgan significantly higher. Most Americans are unaware that for at least 25 years, big business and banks have been secretly taking out millions of life insurance policies on their workers and naming the corporation the beneficiary of the death benefit without the knowledge of the employee. The individual policies are frequently in the hundreds of thousands of dollars and sometimes millions. To keep track of employees who've left the company, deaths are routinely tracked through Social Security Administration. The policy became known as dead peasant or janitor because the corporations took out life insurance on millions of low-wage workers, including janitors, without their knowledge or consent. The insurance can give a nice boost to bottom-line corporate profits because it provides multiple tax breaks, including the cash buildup in the policy is reported as income, but is tax exempt because it resides in a tax-sheltered life insurance policy. The cash payment the company receives when the employee dies is also tax-free under existing tax law. In 2003, the General Accountability Office, the GAO, released a study which found that multiple companies held policies on the same individual and that 3,209 banks and thrifts had total cash values in their policies totaled $56.3 billion. $56.3 billion. Now, is that, are we understanding this correctly? We've got 53 billion, and all we got to do is start a little plague here in this area here, and wipe out some of these workers, and we'll put 53 billion in our pockets, and all that's tax exempt. And the IRS is going to handle your Medicaid now, and Obamacare. That $259 and $359 a month sounded better all the time for this insurance health benefits. Now, I don't know if that health benefit is a good deal or not. I don't know. I'm not qualified to say because I don't pay for insurance and I don't have insurance and I'm not going to get insurance because I'm certainly they're going to have to drug me to keep me in a hospital. And of course they know that, and that's exactly what they did back in 2004. Now, I told you that because this whole zombie movies that you're seeing, World War Z, go give them a few million. They need to get that back because they made that movie just to entrench your War of the Worlds, you know, the whole Independence Day theme. Will Smith, the aliens, the blood-sucking aliens, keep you scared, keep you scared. They want you to believe that the government's the one to handle the emergency. I think you're the one to handle emergencies. And this co-op that I'm talking about setting up would work. It is working now. If we work together, we can do this. We can do this whole thing here. If we work together. But that's the key. That's the key. We don't work together well, do we? Now, let's see. We got about 30 minutes left. The call-in number is 347-688-2902. On Skype, it's Freedom Screen. And if you want to call in, if you've got something productive, let's do that. Yes, sir. Alright, I want to do this.
Now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order. The new world order does not mean surrendering our national sovereignty or forfeiting our interests.
He took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States of America. By some, he's been called controversial.
Now, keep in mind that some of my guests have been approached by Homeland Security or FBI saying, why are you going on the Clay Douglas show?
My message to those guys, if they're listening this morning, is go get a cup of coffee. Maybe you'll learn something.
We both took the same oath, to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I don't recall there being an expiration date on that.
So well it doesn't show. How can I contain this anguish and this pain, knowing that your eyes are blinded by the lies?
He is the free American, Clay Douglas.
Have your eyes been blinded by the lies? Yes, your eyes are blinded by the lies.
Catch the free American weekdays at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern.
Every time I think about the damage that's been done, the anger wells inside me till I'm almost overcome. I want to tear the moon out of the sky and drop the sun. Why do I feel so all alone, like I'm the only one?
For the podcast and more details, visit www.freeamerican.com or catch the podcast by phone by calling 832-999-8621.
Your soul may know the darkness of divine eternity, like petty thieves who thunder in the shadows of the night. They break inside and enter through the windows of your mind. How can I?
Come on, Angel.
Because I want to do that.
Come on, Angel.
Because it's separation from, and it's none of your business, Kosher. I'll just ignore you and won't watch anything that you do. And, my pet zombie, yeah, that's right. This is Rabbi Ted that likes to come in my room, likes to listen to me, to tell me how great his people are. His people are those lying thieves that you call Israelis, that you call Jews, that are running all these zombie movies in Hollywood, that are doing everything, that brag about their control of the movie industry and the news industry. And of course, that's the corporation that sprang up around the bankers that are stealing your money. But hey, we're going to have 6 more die there in New York or someplace, wherever we set off that national atomic bomb. We'll do it in the Jewish population so we can take credit for it. We just won't mention the other 60 million that die from the radiation and everything. So that's a great thing. I'm glad you guys can enjoy. I love this Ignore. So I don't have to do this. Now, if you want to call in, unless of course you don't have a phone like Rabbi Ted, who's too chicken shit to call anyway, that phone number's 347-688-2902. If you're actually a real person out there and you got enough balls to call Clay Douglas, do so. Huh? Stop it. No. Yeah. Want to watch her howl? Put a collar on. Put a lead on her. Hold her collar. Watch her freak out. New puppy. But the bird's been quiet today. Yeah, I appreciate that. All right, folks. Here's the situation. What happened? 25 years ago, I became aware of the CIA drug dealer. I got a hold of Operation Watchtower, which is a part of my book. Yes, sir. What? You there, Richard? Was that you?
No,
Well, that's
I'm
weird.
here, but that wasn't me.
Okay. Well, I don't know what that was. I don't have anything else open, so. Let's see. We have a ballless audience today. The phone number is 347-688-2902. I guess it's just women listening to us today, or girly guys, I guess. I don't know. go put another nickel in the slot here. Let's watch another zombie movie. Have those zombie movies made it up to Canada, Richard?
I have not. I don't go and watch movies either, Clayton. But that was one movie. You know, I seen some trailers for it, and I thought the effects looked good. You know, from an effects point of view. But other than that, I don't go watch movies at the movie theater. I'll wait till they come out on DVD if I'm interested, and then I'll watch them.
All right, somebody on the chat room talked about J.B. Campbell. Now, I've had J.B. on my show many times, and his latest article kind of stresses what I've been trying to make people understand, that we are entering the most dangerous period up till this point. It'll get much more dangerous, but right now is the most dangerous so far. That's because it's a twilight period, dusk. Neither light nor dark. There are threats out there, but they're hard to make out. We are at that uncertain time of U.S. history in which we know the government is getting ready to arrest and wipe out all the critics, but some of us aren't sure when to start shooting. Most of us aren't even sure who would be shot first. So he says this essay is intended to remove that doubt and hesitancy. Our gun-running, mass-murdering Attorney General has just admitted to a senator that Americans will be killed in America by drones. Our degenerate puppet president and his presumptive CIA director have been assassinating heroes overseas for years, using this and many other methods, including death by torture. And by the way, I will have one of the men tortured by the Bush administration and by Kissinger. His wife will be on my show in a couple of days. Grandma, B.K. Durham, will be on my show. This is a woman that appeared on my show. They tried to kidnap. They won't access to the Durham Trust. And so she's going to be on my show shortly. Who do we got from 304 area code?
Yeah, that'd be Scott.
Hello, Scott. Welcome to the Free American Hour.
Yeah, it's raining here. I'm not doing anything but waiting for the rain to quit. I said, well, hell, I'll call in and talk to you. It'd be my honor to talk to you.
Well, nice to see that. Nice to see. What state are you in?
West Virginia.
All right, sir. Too close
West
to Washington.
Bygone, Virginia.
Too close to Washington D.C. for me, but sure is pretty country.
Well, we got a lot of trees, a lot of tall trees here, so it's not too close to Washington.
Have you gone to see a zombie movie yet?
No, I don't go to movies. I don't do TV. Don't go to movies. I just try to survive and listen to real information, not disinformation.
Good. I appreciate that. And you know what I'm trying to stress here. I mean, my first guest was talking about Obamacare and the whole insurance scam, but again, they're still putting money into this medical system one way or the other. I think that the medical system is our problem. What do you think? I mean, between Big Pharma and the fact that Americans are probably the most drugged people on earth right at this time, how do you feel about that? Am I overreacting?
Well,
Am
like
I overstating anything? Am I being a conspiracy theorist or a radical?
Oh yeah, that's definitely what we are. You know, we got to be because we don't agree with the system. But I think it's just like the IRS. It's all a scam to begin with. They have to have more money so they can go do their illegal things around the world and take over countries and put in world banks, and you know, it's just a scam. That way they can control the population and poison you and force you into vaccines, and You know, people don't realize they don't have to do that. They're brainwashed into thinking that they have to do whatever they're forgetting who's supposed to be controlling the government instead of the government controlling the people.
we have the most successful voluntary income tax system in the world. It's all voluntary, but that's you rarely hear that from an IRS agent. And what part of voluntary don't you understand? But speaking of the IRS, you know, before I could give them another dime, and I haven't given them a dime in a long time, somebody would have to explain to me how they can send $46 million or $49 million to 23,000 illegal immigrants who all live at the same address, who all have the same address. I don't know how they get all that many people in the living room. I don't know where they sleep, but IRS just wouldn't just send $49 million to somebody without knowing what they were doing, would they?
Well, they might if it's funneled back to the people that send it to them. I guess that happened in multiple locations, from what I understand, and quite a few $1 million. One was 46 million, and I believe another one was 20-some million, and another one was 14 million. I mean, come on, I need to move down there. Well, a lot of that was what, Georgia, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was part of that was in Georgia. I don't know, makes me feel like I'm in the wrong business. I got the wrong citizenship or something here.
Well, that's what it is. We need to move down. We need to get our Mexican citizenship and then come back in here as immigrants, and then we'd be a free American.
Yeah, I just don't want to walk that far. I hate to have to walk that far, but I'm just getting old and lazy. Now, let me ask you this. This is I have tried to come up with answers. I think I've come up with an answer. But it takes some radical thinking. It takes working together to do that. Now, if we can grow our own food and generate our own energy from the house that we live in right now, why shouldn't we do that? Why couldn't we do that? And hey, David, I see that you're on. I'll get to you in a second, bud.
I don't know. That's what I do. So that's what I do every day. That's what I farm. I farm for myself and enough for the family, and any extra goes to whoever needs it. So I've always done that. I've got plants growing inside, outside, and wherever I get one to grow. I've even I grow all winter, and I found that you can take plants, and if you plant them from seed, they'll actually acclimate to real low light situations and produce just as well, if not better, than right out in direct sunlight like they tell you they have to have.
Now, you've been doing this for years, so I take it that you live on what I refer to as the foundation of every civilization, a self-sufficient family farm. Doesn't have to be a big farm. What size? Where do you live? Tell me.
We got right now. I'm on my own parcel was 30 acres, but it's actually part of the old family farm, which was 187 acres, and some of it's not being farmed. A lot of ours is woods, a lot of timber.
But you still got some of the family farms that are left there that are for sale. People could move into, people could put to use.
Oh, absolutely. There's all kinds of places around here, and it's starting to get pretty high. It used to be so affordable. I mean, you could sell a place in, a small house or whatever in New Jersey for $2 million and move out here. You used to be able, but you could buy a pretty nice farm for $70,000-$80,000. A couple 100 acres, but with a farmhouse and barns and everything. But now they're starting to get a little bit people's waking up and they're coming in from all over out of the states, moving out of them tax countries, and they're buying up property here. But yeah, I've still got 30 acres here, you know, of my own on this location, anyways.
Now, I have said, if you are you able to farm your land yourself? Now, I don't think a lot of the new techniques that we're finding out, people have actually got more knowledge about farming and gardening than they did 100 years ago. But by laying wood chips on the ground, keeping the ground moist, it keeps the ground moist, they don't blow off, and you can grow the way you grow on the floor of a forest floor by treating the land right, not necessarily plowing it up, not disturbing, not destroying all of the beneficial chemicals, and certainly not using Roundup or Monsanto genetically modified crap, right? Or am I assuming too much?
Yeah, fortunately, you're assuming right. Unfortunately, all of our neighbors, the surrounding farms, won't let them spray the right-of-ways or spray any of those chemicals around us. We're all a little bit knowledgeable, at least that knowledgeable, to where we won't allow it, because you know a lot of our farmers they have cattle, they raise cattle and other animals, and you know, and yeah. Definitely, and you need wood chips here because it's usually pretty moist. You know, I don't know if you spent much time in West Virginia, but it's kind of pretty much probably the closest thing to a rainforest that you could get here in the U.S. You know, it's matter of fact, I read an article one time, but I don't know if it's true or not, that there's more different varieties, type of vegetation in West Virginia than there is in the Amazon jungle. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know, but I do recall that.
All right. Well, what I am proposing, you could put to work right now, right where you're at. One, I've said you need help in order to farm organically. Now, I've got organizations lined up, already got their websites up and all that, about organic farming, supporting organic farming. I just talked with a law firm the other day, and I said what I envision here is not just, no, we can't all move to the country, and I've lived in the country. I couldn't get anybody to come out there because you couldn't get a job in the country. However, I think what you're doing is the most important thing that could be done to ensure our survival as a race, as a species, as a country. And that's restoring the self-sufficient family farm. Now, I want to ask you, why can't we bring the country to the city? Why can't we take one square city block and say, look, here's the proposition. We want you to create solar panels in your garage. We want you to convert the backyard to tear out that crabgrass and put down tomatoes and lettuce and corn. And just do it in every house or every other house. And if you can't work it yourself, you can hire a neighbor kid to maintain your garden. You can do it as a cooperative venture, and this is what they're doing with the farms and the city folks in Oklahoma. They have a co-op there, so they get their staples, their coffee, their sugar at wholesale cost plus 10. And they get their organic vegetables from their neighbors. Everybody works, everybody produces, everybody benefits. And I would like to see this whole formula being put to work in every small town or every small parcel of land, just like you've just described to me. And why can't we do it? We've got homeless veterans out there. And I think that's the biggest tragedy that we got. Why can't we do that with homeless veterans by putting a teepee or a cabin up and letting them work there, work that land, work that garden, and defend that garden and those people if everything goes south. If the zombie apocalypse actually happens. And that could with an EMP blast. It could come from the sun. It could come from North Korea. It could come from Israel. We don't know where it comes from. It could happen. The United States already planned for that EMP disaster. That could generate the whole zombie apocalypse that I've talked about here. Could it be brought? Can the country be brought to the city? Is this applicable? Now, I talked with one law firm. You know, some people say, well, zoning won't let you, the city code, the homeowners association won't let you do this. I talked to a law firm that said we got an unalienable right to grow our own food, to use what God gave us. Your opinions on that, sir?
Well, first you need to you have to stay away from these attorneys and lawyers because they're working for the other side. I don't care how good a friend they are and how nice they talk. That's just plain and simple. They're completely on that evil side that you talk about once in a while. And now you're trying to go against Monsanto. Now do you think that's right for you to put a striving company like Monsanto down the tubes?
If opposed to hanging them or what?
By growing your own food and not buying their chemicals.
Yeah, let's all have a roundup party. Let's round up some of the Roundup executives and dose them with Roundup and see how long they last. Yeah.
And by the way, you mentioned them veterans. If there's any homeless veterans out there that would like to move out here, they're more than welcome. I'll help them all I can, and I'll have the property. I would set them up on. I don't play no crazy games, but if they're good people and they think they can keep their act together, and they want to grow their own food or build a log cabin out of the trees that's here, or set up a teepee or a pup tent or whatever, I've never turned away anybody, and I damn sure wouldn't turn away any of the veterans. I might not agree with it.
Do me a favor. Put that information in an email. Send it to me at clay@freeamerican.com and whatever contact information you want. And I am starting a classified page on libertyvillages.org. We've got all the paperwork on the co-ops. I'd like to get you started on that and handle your area. I mean, we can't do this. I'm in Texas. I'm on Corpus Christi Bay right now, but I've been into every state, and this will work. What we're talking about doing here, people looking out for themselves, working for themselves, growing their own food, and I promise you it's pretty easy to build solar panels and windmills. We've been doing it for hundreds of years. We can certainly upgrade a little bit here. And send me an email to clay@freeamerican.com, and I'll get you got a Liberty Village right there. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. The land and the willingness to help your brother and work together. I mean, this is all it takes. You know, and you can't really get back. This is about as basic as you can get. If you can grow your own food, generate your own electricity, you can tell the government to kiss your ass and go to hell.
Agreed.
All right, let me. What's your name again? Tell me again.
Scott.
Scott. Okay, Scott. I'll be looking for an email. Clay@freeamerican.com. And David Koss, you're with me. How are you?
Just fine, Clayton. Just fine. Great show today. I was real interested in hearing James Lansbury's ideas on that alliance that he's got going with Samaritan Ministries. But I just wanted to call in and let you know that Jesse Ventura just appeared on the Piers Morgan program and announced his candidacy as an independent candidate in the 2016 presidential election that's coming up.
Well, great. Maybe he'll let you be vice president, huh?
Yeah, you never know. Well, I think he's spinning his fluids because he's looking younger and younger on that program the other night. But yeah, that was great news when I read that on Google yesterday. But yeah, Paul Gauci has that website backtoeden.com where he talks about wood chipping his fields and whatnot, and that's the best idea I've heard of in a long time. But on the internet, on Facebook, I've been seeing postings for their backyards in the city, converting old swimming pools with tarp over them for sunscreen, and they're growing tilapia and chickens in the old swimming pool, and all kinds of crops are growing right around there, and they're saying how that's what you need to do with your backyards now, is just convert them to your own small growing area to feed your family and whatnot.
Send me everything, every link that you got on that. I'm upgrading and launching libertyvillages.org again.
Yeah.
Get these dogs out of here.
Well, also, Clayton, I watched a video on the YouTube about this last month about a black gentleman down in Compton who has refurbished all the vacant lots down there, not all of them, but several of them, turned them into grow gardens, and he's growing all kinds of vegetables and feeding the populace down there, the people that can't find work and can't get any aid and can't have any food to eat. He's growing his own gardens down there. It's amazing.
I believe that is the next revolution. That is what we need to be doing now. This is what I talked about with Liberty Villages. Thank you. Give him something to do. Keep him off of me.
How's them chickens doing in the swimming pools? What I was wondering.
Well, the report is they're doing fantastic. They just let them run free there, and they lay eggs, and the people go out and collect the eggs every day. You know, as many chickens as they got, and plus you can make yourself chicken dinner whenever you want as well. So. And they have the tilapia swimming around in the base of the pool, and that waters the plants and grows the crops. It's amazing. But they got plans for how you do it. Just a simple construction of 2x4s and some plastic tarp in your backyard with some of that PVC tubing to stretch out under the soil.
I'd like to branch out into aquaponics myself. I think that's definitely a good way to go. The only problem here is you have to keep your stuff warm in the winter time because it does get below zero, or not usually below zero, but it does get down to freezing. So you definitely have to have a little bit of compost or something to keep everything warm.
Well, I believe this is the way of the future. We're almost out of time. Music's about to start. David, thanks for coming on. Scott,
sure.
I'm looking forward to getting your email and phone numbers and that, and we'll be concentrating and talking about this, because this can be done now. It has to be done now. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.